Welcome back, everybody, to the Los Angeles Angels franchise reboot here on MLB The Show 24. We are 47 days out from the next MLB draft. We're going to get essentially right up to it by the end of this episode. But we got to talk about one player on this team that we got to figure out what to do with, and that is Logan O'Hoppe. Now he's down to batting 139 this season after a really promising year last year. He was one of our top players, batting 263, had the most home runs on the team, but right now his numbers are way down compared to last year. He's been batting against both righties and lefties for the better part of the season, but I think at this point it's time to not send him down, but to at least bench him until he's out of this cold spell. Right now, he's by far the worst average batter in the lineup, so we're going to replace him. We're going to give a shot against righties to Travis d'Arnaud because he does have some pretty solid power against right-handed pitchers. So he will play against righties, and I guess he'll play against lefties as well. And we'll bring somebody else into DH in place of d'Arnaud, but we're going to let him play catcher. We'll take out O'Hoppe, and instead, against lefties, why not give somebody like Kevin Kiermaier another shot? Now that he hasn't played very well this year, but he's at least batting way better than O'Hoppe is. So 76 lefty contact. Hopefully he can be a solid DH for us. And why does this have Odell Herrera playing center field? That should not be the case. We're going to play him at DH instead. So Kiermaier to center field, Odell Herrera the DH, and O'Hoppe benched for now. We have also not played our best baseball as of late, falling now below 500 after a promising start to our season. We are running out of time to get back on track because it's going to be quite the battle for us to make our way back into the wild card. I know, right now we're not too far behind at 3.5 games back, but we got to stop this losing streak before it gets too crazy. Well, here's a chance. We have a tie ball game, 0-0 against the Yankees, top of the 9th with 2 men on and Odell Herrera at the plate. Let's see if we can potentially win this game right here on the road. Here we go. Tying run at second base, or the winning run at second base, facing Dennis Santana. In the air to center field, a little bit behind the changeup. That will keep the runners at second and first. Herrera out, so one left for us to bring home the runners. It's going to be Travis d'Arnaud, who has come into a bigger role as of late with O'Hoppe struggling. Oh, he's batted .318 with runners in scoring position. Okay. And got him on the inside changeup. We go bottom 9. Max Fried trying to put together another complete game shutout, but he probably can't get through the... Well, he definitely can't get through the entirety of it because it's going to go to extras unless he allows a walk-off run to score here in the inning. In the air and over first base. Rizzo gets to first. And Fried up to 111 pitches now. Is he going to stay in? He will not. That's going to be it for Fried. He's done. Pitched very well, gave up 7 hits in total, and we're bringing in Reed Detmers. That was Dave Roberts doing that, not me. I'm not controlling us right now. Trevino with the bunt, it goes foul. Trying to bunt again, it's popped up, and O'Hoppe gets the outs. Lucky break for the Angels. Left over the heart of the plate, but into a double play. And it's complete, and we're going to extras. Lucky break for Detmers right there. Still knotted up at 0. Nolan Shonowell grounds it to first base. Forgot to take over here. Runner advances to third base. Now I'll jump in. Wrong idea. There we go. But we got Darnau to third base. Julian a chance to bring him home now, but he has yet to reach here in this one. There's ball 3. Neto on deck. He's drawn 2 walks so far today. And Julian bring home Darnau. That's gonna get caught. We're gonna try and tag up. And save because the throw is offline. The Angels take the lead here in the 10th inning. Edward Julian, the sacrifice fly. And we are on the board. Base is clear now for Neto. Can he keep the inning alive, though? Straight to center field. No movement needed. Inning over. And guess what time it is? Closing time for Jose Leclerc. Detmers checks out after a solid 9th inning. 17 for 19 on saves so far is Leclerc. He'll face the bottom of the order, DJ LeMahieu, who's had a really solid 2025 campaign. Grounded into deep short, and that's a nice play by Zach Neto, man. Diving play to prevent the base hits, and he makes the throw in time as well for the out. Runner can advance. Here's a replay of that one. Just laying out for it. Full extension. They're going to bring in Oswald Peraza to pinch run. Gleyber Torres, top of the order. 0-2 hole. And got him with the slider on the outer edge of the plates. 1 out away from a extra innings win here on the road at Yankee Stadium. Over the middle and into center field. A chance to bring home the runner. And the Yankees have tied it up on their final outs of the game. Leclerc allows the run. Trent Grisham the RBI. Just left that pitch right over the middle, man. We saw Detmers do that earlier. Now it's Aaron Judge, a chance to put the Yankees in front and walk it off. Winning run on first base. Leclerc ahead in the count. And the game's over. Aaron Judge walks it off, his 17th home run. 2-run shot. Leclerc his 3rd blown save. Wow. We had 2 outs and couldn't get it done. That sucks. So the losing continues. We lose another one against the Yankees, dropping another one 1-3. The offense has just been so poor as of late. How do we fix it? Swept by the Yankees. Approaching the end of May. We're losing by 2 here against the Nationals. And they beat us again. We've lost 7 straight games and counting. Last game of the month, we finally get back on track with a 9-1 victory. And we get into June, 28-32, worse than last season so far. Max Fried does not deserve to have 3 losses under his belt. No shot. But for updates from the minor leagues, looks like Adam Wolf, after an initially strong month in AAA, he really struggled here in May. Evan White, who's in AA right now, has had some Major League experience, batted really well, 349, 15 RBIs. Walker Jenkins continues to improve in AAA. And we might want to focus on him soon because we got to start thinking about who should we focus on to call up back in or later on in September. That is approaching us in a couple of months. Gotta start thinking about guys to call up. Chase Chaney in Double-A had a really strong month. And then finally, Michael Darrell Hicks in Triple-A continues to pitch very well. 32 strikeouts and nearly as many innings. Great job by him. But what do we do about this team? Kiermaier down a 193 average after coming back into the lineup, batting like 205. What do we do? Losing Drury has been a huge problem, a huge loss for the offense. Let's focus on some scouting for a little bit. We got Ryan Bullock up to 45% scouted here, and he's showing a whole lack of power, but a lot of contact against both righties and lefties, and he looked to be a really speedy outfielder as well, so potentially could be a solid defender and base runner, and a good on-base guy with that plate vision. So potentially could be a good pick when he is 18 years old, so there are some pretty wild ranges here. Might want to keep scouting him for a little while longer because he is up there on our draft board, but it's time for us to stop scouting this position and just focus on specific prospects instead. We got Albrecht now up to 77%, and he looks to be a pretty, jack of all trades kind of a batter. Defense does leave a lot to be desired, though, but offensively does show a lot of potential. So I'm down to scout him one more week, but that will get us up to, that will use about 70% of scouting, so we can probably use that on somebody else. Maybe swap him to the other scouts, perhaps. But that would also do this. So let's try and work around this real quick. We'll let Daryl Kim scout Albrecht instead. We're going to include another outfielder, Jess Nash here, who's right now 5th on the overall ranking and our ranking as well. He's got a lot of good potential here, but obviously low scouting percent, so I want to get that up before we can actually know about him for sure. We end up taking the series against the Nationals, winning back-to-back games with really solid run support. 10 runs. This time for Max Fried, finally got some help from the offense. Looks like Franco, Ohapi, and Moniak all played. Ohapi at first base, I guess, in place of Shonowell to give him a break. But big days by all three of those players. Fried only 1 earned run across 8 full innings pitched. Andrew Watts gave up 2 runs in 1 inning, but we still hung on to win by a handful. So now we got a series against the A's. Might want to jump into one of these games if there is a situation, which there is a highlight moment potentially for Joe Ryan trying to complete the shutout. So let's jump in. Top of the 9th, it's only 1-0 Angels. Can we protect this lead at all? Joe Ryan trying to get out of the game and the inning. Just got 3 more outs. They'll face Logan Davidson first. 0 for 3 so far today. Fouled off for strike 1. Count runs even. 2-2 pitch. Left in the zone. High flyer to right field, but underneath it. We're out number 1. Another young A's prospect here, Zach Geloff, looks at strike 2. Now he's in a hole. Ryan's still below 100 pitches on the day. And got him on the inside. Geloff with an ugly swing. 3 pitches, 3 strikes for Ryan. This is 5th K here in this one. And Jordan Diaz is the final out to complete the shutouts. And Ryan get it done. First pitch on the inside, missing. 3-1 count for Diaz with Soderstrom on deck, and Ryan walked him. Now we got to face a fairly good power hitter. The catcher, Tyler Soderstrom, 8 home runs on the season, which matches Ohapi's current total. Soderstrom, ugly swing on the inside pitch. He falls behind. Underneath it, behind home plate, Darnaud makes the grab, and the game is over. The Angels hold on to win. Joe Ryan, a complete game shutout. Almost had one for Fried. And our last highlights, we get one here for one of our other top pitchers. His pitching staff is fantastic. It's just the offense that needs to pick things up. That is just Ryan's 4th win all year long, but it is our 3rd straight. Can we complete a series win? We got Game 2, another 1-run win against the A's, 3-2 this time. Detmers gets the win. And Game 3, we complete the sweep, 6-2. I know it's the A's. They're obviously horrible. Only 18-46, which is just god-awful. But you take wins where you can get them. Jordan Diaz homered here in this game, but Ken Waldichuk came and gave up 4 earned runs. Edward Julian with the home run here in this game. Plenty of doubles for several players. How about Gerardo Franco playing very well as of late at the plate? Considering that Franco is batting so well, I'm going to put him up to 3rd in our lineup against righties in place of Neto, who is not playing as well lately. And against lefties, he's already leading off, so I feel comfortable leaving this lineup where it's at for now. But the bottom half of this order is also not playing too well. Hopefully these guys can pull things up. And after a win streak, back-to-back 1-run games against the Rays, who aren't even that good. And Max Fried got the loss in this one after allowing a single run. So undeserved for our pitchers, man. The offense just cannot be consistent, man. 14 strikeouts in this game. Good Lord. Only 3 hits. That's not going to cut it, man. Only 1 walk drawn by Edward Julian. You can't win playing this poorly. Got more info on scouting here. Albrecht up to 100%. And now we know for sure that he is going to be a really solid batter, just like Odell Herrera and Franco were out of the draft. The defense does need work, but for a guy that plays first base, it's not that much of a concern, especially when the reaction time is actually not that low. So I think he would be a solid pick, but I think you would probably want to go for somebody who could be more of a superstar caliber player on both offense and defense. So we'll remove him for now with him fully scouted. I got Bullock up to 90%. Can probably stop scouting him now because his profile is really coming into view now. Joe Ryan has another shutout brewing here against the Rays in Game 3. Can he do it again? Let's find out. Only 70 pitches for Joe Ryan right now with 1 inning left to play. He has been absolutely dealing, I guess. Getting a lot of quick outs against this lineup, so he is still feeling relatively fresh compared to the last time we saw him, and he was at like 110 pitches. Taylor Walls out number 1. We have a better lead this time around, 3-0. So the Rays now have Pete Crow Armstrong. The Cubs prospect, I believe, is where he is in real life, so they must have acquired him via trade somehow. Not sure when that happened, but I guess he's here now and leading off for him. Top of the order. Coming in from left field to make the grab and out of reach. And low on the ground. The shortstop, Neto, makes the throw for out number 2. 1 out away is Joe Ryan from another complete game shutout facing Oslevis Basabe. Hopefully I did not butcher that pronunciation. I'm sure I did. And popped up to first base. Shonowell underneath it. Another great pitching performance from Joe Ryan. We have quite the pitching staff. We really do. You get through one more week getting swept by the Dodgers. They are up to 34 games over 500. But then we did rebound by nearly sweeping the Royals. We got one more game against them here in Game 4. We won the first 3, including another Joe Ryan nearly complete game setup, but still pitched a shutout regardless. 8 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed, no earned runs. Leclerc got the save, his 19th on the season. A couple of doubles by Kiermaier and Travis d'Arnaud here in that one, and we're coming off a 6-5 win with 9 hits for both teams. Very close game. Home runs by Shohei and d'Arnaud. John Means kind of got hammered here in this one, but still has a really solid ERA across the entire season. But Leclerc's ERA is up to 4.12. Hoping for him to bring that down because he has definitely not been as great as advertised, but has still been really solid. Better than our closers last year. For scouting, though, we got Jess Nash up to 100% scouted, and I like his profile a lot more than Albrecht's. So I think right now he's probably one of my top prospects to go in the first round for us if he's still there at our pick. He's got the high potential, the high overall coming out of the draft. If you want somebody that can play for your team very, very soon with a pretty low ETA, he's the guy because he's 21 years old, a 4-year junior in college. So he's the guy to go after probably right now. I also am scouting Rico Guerrero and Ben Vargas. So we keep scouting these two. I'll probably remove Guerrero for now because some of those future ratings have dropped off from the blue ranges. And for Ben Vargas, I think I'll keep looking at him for kind of a mid-round reliever pick because I still want to target a couple more relievers here in this draft to kind of flesh out those bullpens in the minor leagues. I'm also going to start trying to flesh out these pitcher profiles that we used on the international pitchers, and Daniel Sorvala is the first guy that we're going to try and complete the profile for, or at least get up to nearly fully scouted. We're going to replace Jeff Nash with probably another one of those players. And most of them are around 55% right now, but I'm going to look for probably some later draft picks because we are going to focus on probably an outfielder or infielder with the first round. Charles Herring here has a really low walk per 9, which that's kind of scary to me, so I'm going to back off on him. There is Salvatore Santo, though, and he's got some pretty solid ratings across the board. Let's use one on him right now and try and get him up to fully scouted. We have another situation. Tim Anderson at the plate, 2 outs facing Alex Lang. With Anderson and Travis d'Arnaud on base, a chance to potentially walk it off for at least plates the game-tying run here in the 9th inning. Let's go home and try and beat the Tigers here in Game 3 against them after Games 1 and 2 were split. So 2 for 7 so far in the series is Tim Anderson. He's been a big part of this team after being called up after a short stint in AAA to start the season. There's strike 1. Dead center field, and out is Anderson. Had a real shot on that pitch, but couldn't put it in play. The Tigers hang on to win 3-2. So the Tigers take the series, and now we've lost 2 in a row to start the next one against the Royals at home. The offense still really struggling, only a handful of games north of 4 runs in the entire month so far. And in these 2 games against the Royals, got 1 run against Brady Singer and 2 runs against Walker Buehler. That was it. Allowed 9 in that game. Still, that's really having a tough year now. 3-6 record, 5.8 ERA. He has not nearly been as good as he was last season. Max Fried, by the way, I think is going to be an all-star, and Joe Ryan and John Means might also make it too, but still Seth, 5.8 ERA, 1.59 whip is extremely high compared to last year. This is not what I expected whatsoever. These are just completely different numbers. Completely different. We've got nearly complete profiles for these three pitchers. Salvatore Santo has really high potential. The only real concern is the home run per 9 pitching-wise, but it's still not as low as a lot of players. And he has really good arm strength, good arm accuracy. I think he's one of my top players at the pitcher position, but we're going to not scout him any further, so we'll cancel that assignment for now. We get Vargas up to 95%, and he's got plenty of things to work on, including hit per 9, strikeout per 9, and walk per 9. Pretty much all the per 9s except for home runs, which is not what you want to see. Now, Sorvala definitely struggles with allowing hits and some control, but otherwise has a whole lot of velocity, so he should have quite a lot of burn on these pitches, and does. 98-mile-per-hour fastballs and a really fast changeup. So could still be solid. I think he's still one of my top options despite the hit per 9 being low. And we just lost Griffin Canning to a broken arm. He's going to be out for 1 to 2 months, so man, that's such poor time, because now going to have to put him on the 15-day IL at the very least. That also means that we have to bring in a new starter to our rotation when one guy is already struggling, and the only other guy that can be the starter right now is Reed Detmers, who has been horrible this year so far. So that's not good, but he's going to have to start for now in his place. So, and we are only getting worse as the year goes on, it looks like, man. We are now coming off, once again, back-to-back games, scoring 1 run. Before that, in 2 of 3 games, had 3 runs or less against the Astros and lost that series. And we scored 2 runs or less in every game in that series against the Royals, and they swept us. We can at least focus on some more prospects, though. We got Forrest Workman here, a reliever that will probably not go until the late couple of rounds. Wanted to get a couple of these prospects out of the way, and he seems pretty solid, actually. No real major concerns unless you really worry about the hit per 9 being that low, but I think it being below average means that can be worked on up to the average level by his 2nd or 3rd year, hopefully. So I definitely like Workman here. He's 22 years old. Then we got catcher Brian Colin, who looks like he could grow into a solid overall batter and a really good defender. He might already be a great defender behind home plate and could be even better than that going forward. He's also 22, but does have extremely low potential. So probably don't want to focus on him any longer. And then the last guy that we scouted was a starter, Tadahito Kondo, out of Japan, only 18 years old, but he has between 75 and 90 potential. This might be a good 2nd or 3rd round pick for us to make, because this guy looks to be pretty solid. We enter July now, 6 games below 500, coming off a shutout victory to close out the month of June. 6-0 behind another Max Fried shutout game. He has been incredible this year, now up to 10 wins. Leclerc does not get the save or a hold, but Lauasiga does. Looks like Anderson, Shonwell, Herrera all homered here in this game. And yeah, 8 hits allowed, but no runs. And we got 3 off of Kyle Harrison and Robbie Ray apiece. So entering July, we open with a series against the Astros, who are now 17 games above 500. We are about a week away from the MLB draft. We'll round up scouting over this next week. We are 11 days out from the draft, so it's going to be on July 12th, it looks like. So probably get into a game against the Mets here, and then we'll wrap up right before the draft going into next episode. It is our last possible scouting week. We got Quintero up to 45%. Probably swap him out for somebody else just to get as much info as possible amongst the class. He could be solid, though. We also scout Mike O'Hara out of Canada, and I like him a lot. He's got really good pitch velo and breaks, so The combo of potentially the fastball and the curveball, plus a slurve and a changeup. He is one of my top pitchers right now for sure, based on that alone. He is only 18 years old though, so these ranges could be incorrect. We got Lorenzo Murillo up to 100%, and he seems to be kind of average across the board until you get to above average on the velo and break, just like O'Hara, but it's not as effective as O'Hara. He's only got 3 pitches though, so do with that what you will. We're going to focus on these 3 players to round out scouting for us. We got reliever Jordy Lane, who potentially also has some really good velo and break, as well as strikeout and home run per 9. Good arm strength, good arm accuracy. Estevan Corran at shortstop could be a really good defender and on-base guy with really high discipline and really high contact against both righties and lefties. And then potentially a big power batter, James Rogers, who could also really play in the outfield at really any spot. With those defensive ratings, he could be an absolute machine on defense. So these 3 guys are the last 3 guys to focus on for scouting. In AAA, Emmanuel Bonilla, one of the guys that we drafted, never really got it going and only batted 114 and 35 at-bats. Adam Wolf had another rough month here in June. So 2 back-to-back rough months for him. Meanwhile, Kanan Smith-Njigba batted extremely well in AA. He might get a call up here soon to AAA. Caden Dana, one of those B potential prospects. Really solid month of June. And then finally, Garvin Alston, the reliever in AAA, also played very well. 35 punch-outs and over 33 innings pitched. So, 43 and 48. And we are approaching the draft here in a couple of days. Baltimore is shockingly only 38 and 51. Now, what happened to them? I thought they would be a lot better than us, but they're actually way worse. Well, let's go into a game against potentially Luis Severino on the 11th against the Mets. I think that should be the day before the draft. We just put up 15 runs. After 14 last week against the Astros. What in God's name happened here? Oh my God, their bullpen must have just been awful, dude. Nolan Shawano and Julian both homer twice. Neto and Herrera tack on 2 more. Kevin Kiermaier steals. Still had a really solid outing here. Chafin did all right in the bullpen. Only 3 runs allowed, but everybody got a hit except for Darnaud. 15 hits, 15 RBIs, 8 walks, only 6 strikeouts. And Shawano now is batting .335 on the year. Franco has gone all the way down to 243. Neto all the way down to 211. Herrera also down to 209, man. The bats are just really struggling here despite this solid win. Here we go at Citi Field, folks. Game 1 against the Mets. We are 1 game out from draft day, but both teams trying to climb back to 500. They are 1 game away. We are 5 away. They're going to wear their, I guess, City Connect uniforms this year, but they don't look that good, but I guess they're going to wear them. Luis Severino gets the starts. He's been really good this year after a really rough 2023 and 2024. He's kind of bounced back this season. But Nolan Shawano leads off for the Angels. 941 OPS. He's been fantastic. Right down the middle and through the infield for a leadoff single. Always like seeing that for Shawano. Well, that's what he's known for, is those leadoff singles and leadoff walks. So now Edward Julian only batting .259 this year. Way down compared to last year's campaign where he was the best batter across the entire MLB. Into left field and a single again. So 2 men on to lead off the inning. Here's where things get really interesting. A rookie, Geraldo Franco, at the plates. Down to just below 250 on the batting average, 4 home runs. OBP, pretty low. Got to get that up. There's ball 2. Inside and into a potential double play. He's not going to beat that throw. Man, right to third base. One of the easiest 5-4-3 DPs you'll ever see. Just right to him. Hardly had to move. And on the inside pitch, swung on it. It's not going to get down. Inning over. Here we go. Another stint for Max Fried. He's been absolutely electrifying this year. Very high strikeout rates, low whip, low ERA. He's been one of the best pitchers across the entire league. Leading off is Jeff McNeil. And Ryan to first base. Shonowell has to sky for it, but what a reaction. The save. The inning opening. Base hits. McNeil 2 hits away from 1,000 career hits. And how about Olivares here batting .395 on the season, but hasn't played that much, so small sample size, but he's played well in that little time. In the air to right. Barely having a move, and there is the out for Tyler O'Neill. 2 outs, nobody on for Brandon Nimmo. Count goes 1-1. Nimmo right now, second in National League voting for the left field All-Star. So he's had a great season. I imagine he's been playing pretty well on defense too, but he's batting third with an average over 300. Can only say that for one of our batters, but Fried got him on the strikeouts. Kiermaier's brought his number up to 238 now, so he's been going up and down all year long, but finally putting some solid games together. Unfortunately, jammed inside, and he's out. Inning over. We are now 7.5 games back in the wild card. We're losing room to breathe here. Losing time on the season to make our way back in there. If we don't make a trade soon to get ourselves back on track, we might as well call this season over because it's kind of trending that way anyways. Alonso behind in the count here. Fouling off the fastball. He's got 29 home runs this season and still 2.5 months left to play. Finally got him on the slider, up and in. Second K for Max Fried. Even count here for Alvarez. And away in front of the changeup. Just like Alonso on the slider. Back-to-back Ks. Santander trying to keep the inning alive. We had considered signing him, but eventually decided to go after Kiermaier and Tyler O'Neill instead. He ends up signing with the Mets here in New York. There's ball 1 on the outside. Count goes full for Santander. Fried got him jammed inside. And the inning is over. Still 0-0. Oh, Herrera just took a shot. Almost got him on the helmets. Got a shoulder instead, so he leads off with the hit by pitch. Bottom of the order. Travis Starr now at ball 1. Grounded off with a glove of the first baseman. Herrera safely to second base. Not the best swing in the world, but out number 1. Runner in scoring position now for Nolan Shonowell. Grounded and deep infield and pulled off the bag is Alonso. Herrera to third base. An error by Jeff McNeil. You don't see that very often whatsoever, but I think it was the hits by Shonowell that caused it. Had to make the throw from his knees. So runners at the corners now for Edouard Julien. A chance to get us on the board here in an early lead. Oh, what a good pitch. For strike 2, a changeup on the inside corner. Julian's behind 1-2 in the count. And he went. Damn it. And the ump calls strike 3. I think that's the right call, but man, that is a tough pitch to both take or swing on. Not easy. In the air to center field. Franco comes in by a couple of steps. Mauricio flies out. Behind in the count, 0-2. And Taylor looks at strike 3. It's grounded. Neto comes in for it. Throw to first on line. And a third of the way through this one. No score. In the air, that one might get down, and it does for Zach Neto. He's on base. One out here in the fourth. And in front of the slider, Anderson is retired. 5th K for Severino here in this one. Let's watch that again, I guess. Really well-placed pitch with 2 strikes. It got a swing there and just couldn't time it up well. So Kevin Kiermaier. What am I doing there? Dead center fields. And another out on a really good pitch to swing on. Come on, man. Gotta put that one into the gap at least. 3 straight 12-6 curveballs have missed for Fried. Full counts. Fouled off. And got him looking with strike 3. That is a really nice pitch. Uh-oh, that was left right over the middle of the plate. Olivares on the first pitch with a single. First hit for the Mets here in this one. Brandon Nimmo to center field and lining out to Franco. Olivares back to first base, 2 outs. 1-2 count for the Polar Bear. Batting clean up today. Looking at another strike 3. That is the 6th punch out for Max Fried here in this one. Only through 4 innings. On the inside and swung on. Lifted to right field and tracked down for the first outs. Back to right field. That's a base hit for Darnell. It gets by the right fielder. And we're going to send Darnell to third base. And he should get there. I don't know who the heck Kevmeister is. But we're at third. Can we bring home the runner? And break open this tie. I should have swung on that one. No. Horrible swing right there. Oh, man. I gotta lay off those ones. That was horrible. Julien, high to right field. Does it have enough carry to leave? It does! Julien breaks open the tie. It's 2-0 Angels. I thought we'd only get 1 or no runs here, but instead we get 2. 17th long shot for Julien on the season. And the Angels are on the board first. Let's go. Just left that one right over the heart of the plates. I had to swing. He's been doing that on these first pitches the entire game. And I finally made him pay. Fried now up to 50 pitches here. Alvarez chases the changeup for strike 1. But Fried has done a great job trying to keep his pitch count as low as possible. He's been getting strikeouts and plenty of contact outs as well, so a nice mixed bag for him. Trying to get Alvarez out here early on, and he goes for strike 3. Another punch out for Fried. Had plenty of those so far today. That's number 7. Pitchers counts. And swinging, a flare, and Julian tracks down the little blooper from Santander. 2 outs here in the 5th. Fried at 60 pitches now. Here's 61. Hold foul. And got him another strikeout for Fried. He is fooling every batter. 8 Ks through 5. We go top of the 6th. Severino got taken out to start the inning, so Bickford now on the mound. There's ball 1. In front of the slider again, man. Had so many good pitches here to hit, but not doing enough. Fried is going for the quality start here once again. Seems to always go for these because he's got high stamina and knows how to really work around these different counts, knows what kind of pitches to throw, and how to get guys out quickly. He's got Tyrone Taylor behind here 1-2 to open the inning. Strike 3, another one. Count runs full for Vientos, but he draws the walk on the inside pitch. First walk issued in the entire game by Fried. That brings up Jeff McNeil, who has yet to reach here in this game, but also had the error, a costly one. And this Kevmeister guy is being really annoying. I had to block Kevmeister. That's too many party invites. McNeil lines out to right field. 2 outs here in the 6th. Olivares swings on the first pitch. Flip play from Julian to get the forced outs. We are 9 outs away, folks, from a victory, but gotta tack on some insurance now. Brooks Raley comes in for the Mets to face Kevin Kiermaier, the leadoff man here in the 7th. There's ball 1. Oh man, that should have been a home run ball, Kiermaier. Slurve left right over the middle, and instead he's underneath it. Odell Herrera lifts it to right field, and 2 slurves that we can't do anything with. 2 good ones as well. The one from Kiermaier I'm really upset about. Darnell gets on base to keep the inning alive. Another slurve. If he keeps throwing those, I'll eventually catch on. Shawano at the plate had a single back in the 1st. Can he keep the inning going? Maybe. It's got some air underneath it and caught in left fields. We're going bottom 7. Brandon Nimmo leads off the 7th with an opposite field single. Might be a double, actually. It's not. He holds at first base. Just the 2nd hit for the Mets, the 3rd base runner in this game for them. Axe Fried up to 77 pitches. And he's got to face Pete Alonso for the 3rd time. There's strike 1. Alonso in a hole. Fried nearly gives up the long ball. Luckily, it's pulled foul. That was almost a tie ball game. Battling back to make the count even. And that's going to be another opposite field hit. That's going to get Nimmo all the way to 3rd base at the very least. They will hold at the corners. No, they won't. Alonso up to 2nd base. Never mind. So both in scoring position. 2 back-to-back base hits off of Fried after only 1 the entire game prior. Fried is going to stay in to try and get out of the jam. Pitch number 90 on the way. Outside, full counts. You don't want to load the bases in any scenario. Can Fried get out of the jam or at least get one out here? Got him swinging for his 10th strikeout. Anthony Santander looks at strike number 1. He's made some good contact so far, but has yet to actually get on base. Fly out and pop out thus far. There's ball 1 on the outside. Fried's been trying to use that 12-6 curve plenty here in this game, but he's been missing outside on a lot of them. That one left over the plate. That's going to bring home both runners. And the game is going to be tied. Santander. A 2 RBI double, and he's out. But not before he ties the game. It's going to count as a single instead. It's 2-2. Fried stays in to face Mauricio. But as I said earlier, 2-run leads are never safe. Might have said that an episode or 2 back as well. Mauricio down 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Missing low. 17 strikes, 7 balls here in the inning. He's up to 100. Definitely his last inning here in the game. Franco does not have to move. Out number 3, but now it's a new ball game. There's also another new pitcher for the Mets here. Trevor Richards, their 3rd guy out of the bullpen here in the game. Edward Julian steps up. He had that opening home run to open the scoring here. Now he's going to face a righty to lead off the inning. Underneath it, fastball clips the top edge of the zone for out number 1. One batter later, we got Tyler O'Neill up. Falling behind in the counts. Man, they are throwing so many first pitch strikes and following it up with some great corner pitches. That's way off the plates. 35,000 here at Citi Field trying to watch a walk-off win or something close to it. O'Neill just late on the inside fastball. We're going bottom 8, man. We cannot put runs together. Here we go. Matt Strom relieves Max Fried. He prevents any extra runs from coming across home plates. He'll face Tyrone Taylor first. And got him way in front of the changeup by a country mile. Out number 1 for Matt Strom. The Entos falls behind and swings through it. 2 strikeouts for Strom after facing 2 batters. 1 left. Top of the order, facing Jeff McNeil. 0 for 3 so far today. Can Strom make it 0 for 4? There's strike 1. And that's going to get through a weak one, but nobody in the area. McNeil keeps it alive. These Mets are fouling off so many pitches, it's crazy. Another one fouled off. Strom's up to 19 here in the inning and counting. Full count pitch. In there for strike 3 looking. 3 strikeouts here in the 8th for Matt Strom. Grounded. Neto only got a piece of it, but not enough of it. Out number 1. Behind the curveball, Anderson flies out. 1 out left for the Angels before the Mets have a chance to walk it off. It's Kevin Kiermaier. 0 for 3 today. It's been the case for most of our batters. And right down the middle, once again late. It's been a rough day for the offense, which has been the story of the last 2 months. Nimmo retired. Looked right at strike 3. Alonso is battling. Count goes 2-2 after a couple of foul balls. Into right field. And diving play. Missed it. Alonso is going to get at least a second base. O'Neill, ill-timed dive. And Alonso has a triple with only 1 out. Just his 3rd triple all year long. And it comes here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tyler O'Neill tried to make a game-saving play, but instead it might be game-losing. These guys are keeping every single at-bat alive as long as they possibly can. So many foul balls. Strom now going for pitch number 40. Is not supposed to be in for this many pitches. It'll stay in to try and get the out. Ball 3. Another full count for the Mets. It could go for the double play. It's not the end of the world allowing a base runner here, and we're going to. With Santander coming back up. Had the big RBI, 2 RBI single a few innings back to get the Mets on the board and in the tie. 0-2 hole for Santander. Can Strom get him? Yes, he can! Strikeout number 5 for Matt Strom. A backwards K on Santander, beautifully painting the edge. Really good call by the umpire as well. That's a really difficult pitch. Like we had a couple innings back. Well, yeah, several of those. Can't decide whether or not to swing or to let that one go, and Santander made the wrong call. Mauricio goes around for strike number 1. He is yet to reach here in this one. Pitch 53. In the air. Should be easy enough for Franco, and it is. We're going to extras. Look what the cat dragged in. Former Angel, one-time Angel Matt Moore comes in for the Mets. Is there a smart sub to make at this point in the game? Should we take out Odell Herrera and bring in somebody else against Strom, who is a lefty pitcher? Is there anybody that could come into DH? Potentially Tim Anderson. I'm going to make the move. We're going to bring in Anderson in place of Herrera to pinch hit. And striking out is Anderson. The changeup got him. Travis Starr now next up. Another righty facing a lefty. Lifted to left field, but in front of it. Out number 2. That's gonna get down, and we're gonna bring home the runner. Across home plate, Nolan Shonowell, the RBI single here in the 10th. He's been so good with runners in scoring position that it's almost guaranteed now batting over 350 with runners on 2nd and 3rd. And we're Julian tack on some more. There's ball 1. Bronco on deck. Julian ahead in the counts. Swinging for strike 2. It's 2 good swings here in the at-bat that have been fouled off. And now into a ground out. Inning over. All right, Jose Leclerc. He's brought his ERA down. Blew a save earlier in the episode. He was the one that gave up the home run to Aaron Judge. Can he secure the win and the save here in the 10th inning against the Mets? Grounded to Julian. Out number 1 that advances Mauricio up to 3rd base. Lifted into the air and caught by Kiermaier. And the tag up is there across home plate. This game's not over yet, man. Good Lord. And don't forget, McNeil had a hit earlier, so he's 1 away from 1,000 career hits. If he somehow walks it off here with a home run, that would be an incredible story for his 1,000th. Ball 2 inside. McNeil into right field. O'Neal is there to end the inning, but it's not over yet, man. I'm not sure 1 run is going to be enough, but Matt Moore stays at only 13 pitches for him. Bronco should not have swung that time. Grounded up the middle. What a play by Moore. Wow, he just saved an out for him. We do advance the runner to third base, but holy cow, Matt Moore with some great reaction time. That should have been an RBI single. Stolen from Franco. O'Neal steps up. Can we bring Julian home? Oh, you cannot foul that one off, man. Good timing on the knuckle curve. Right where you want it. O'Neal, base hit. Julian's home. I'm not sure 1 run's going to cut it, though. We need some insurance. Full count for Neto. Can we get on base with 2 men? Nope. Instead, we line out right to short. Come on, Neto. That's got to go to the gap next time, brother. On the outside, the slider got him for strike 3. But Tyler O'Neill puts us back in the lead. Can we hold on this time? Leclerc's going to stand for now, but Olivares has worked the count 3-0. Did not want to allow 2 base runners here with nobody out. But that is exactly what Leclerc does. 4 pitches, 4 balls. Andrew Wantz was warming up, but Leclerc's going to stay in. Brandon Nimmo back at the plates. Winning run on, or at, not, Jesus, on base. There's the tag up from, I don't know who that is, but tag up from the Mets. Runners at the corners. With Pete Alonso back up. I mean, good God, man, this lineup. I don't know how this team has been so bad with this lineup of batters. Especially their top 4. Their top 4 guys are just absolutely insane. Can Leclerc potentially get a double play ball here to win the ball game? Inside. Alonso's up 2-0. Swung through, strike 3. And Alonso is out. 1 out remains for Leclerc. Wow, what a cut by Alonso. But this one was going nowhere. Completely fooled by the slider. And that's going to bring up Francisco Alvarez. 0 for 3. Grounded to Neto at shorts. The game is over. The Angels hang on in extras. What a win for the Halos. 4-3. That was a tough one, but we did just enough to win, and we have now won 3 straight games coming out of that win. And that will take us up into draft day in the MLB. Gonna end the episode right here. Let me know your thoughts down below on prospects that we have looked at so far that you want to see drafted by us, whether it's first round or last round, and who should we consider calling up from AAA? Should it be Marco Luciano? Should it be Joe Gray, who's been solid? Walker Jenkins also making a case for himself. All three of these guys have really stepped up as of late, with Jenkins and Luciano especially really coming into their own as batters after kind of a questionable first season here in the organization. So I got to think about all those things. But that is going to wrap up the episode, folks. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your feedback down below on who you want to see drafted and called up in a few months' time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.